At 55, John Miller lived a quiet life in a modest apartment on the east side of Boston. His days were predictable: morning walks, black coffee, and flipping through old photo albums. Retirement wasn't planned, it just happened after his small hardware store closed 2 years ago. He had no wife, no kids. Just memories and silence. One gray morning, while watering his dying houseplant, John noticed something odd. The old mailbox in the hallway, the one he'd stopped checking since most letters turned digital, had a small yellow envelope sticking out, postmarked 15 years ago. Curious, he opened it. The handwriting stopped his breath. "Dear Dad." John's knees buckled. It was from Ethan, the son he hadn't seen in nearly 2 decades. They had parted after a brutal argument when Ethan was just 18. John had buried that chapter under layers of regret and pride. The letter was dated July 2008. "I don't know if you'll ever read this, but I'm leaving town tomorrow. I just want you to know. I never stopped needing you." John's hands trembled. Was it too late? The return address smudged with time, but something stirred inside him. Hope. John sat still for hours after reading the letter, the city buzzing outside his window like a world far away. The return address was from a town called Willow Creek, a quiet place 2 hours out of Boston. But the ink had bled over the years. Only half the address was clear. He searched online, checked old maps, even called a local post office. Nothing solid. Until he found a tiny community library listed in Willow Creek. He called. An elderly voice answered. "Yes, I remember an Ethan Miller. Haven't seen him in years though. Quiet kid. Good with tools. Worked at a garage just outside town." John's heart jumped. The next morning he was on a train, clutching that yellowed letter like a lifeline. The rhythmic clatter of the wheels couldn't silence his thoughts. Would Ethan even recognize me? Forgive me? Was he still there? Alive? He stepped off the train into Willow Creek's stillness. Time had slowed here. The streets were narrow, the houses old, the air heavy with memories. He found the garage. Rusted sign. Tools clanking inside. A young man with Ethan's eyes stood under the hood of a car. But it wasn't Ethan. Not even close. "Can I help you?" the young mechanic asked, wiping grease from his hands. John struggled to speak. I'm looking for Ethan Miller. He used to work here. Years ago." The young man raised an eyebrow. "Ethan? That was my dad." John's heart stopped. Your father?" "Yeah. He passed away 5 years ago." "I'm Daniel." Grief washed over John like a tidal wave. The chance to fix everything gone. Daniel looked closer. "Wait, are you John? My dad used to talk about you. The friend who vanished." John could barely breathe. Daniel led him inside the dusty garage office. On the shelf, an old, cracked photo sat in a frame. 2 boys laughing in the sun. It was them. Him and Ethan. Frozen in time. "He never stopped wondering why you disappeared," Daniel said quietly. "He even wrote you letters, until the day he died." John sat down, hands trembling. "I didn't know. I was scared. Life swallowed me." Daniel handed him a box. "He left this. Said if you ever showed up, it was yours." John opened it slowly. Inside was something that made him gasp. It was a key and a map. The key was old, brass, heavy, carved with the initials G. The map was hand-drawn in ink, leading to an address on the outskirts of Willow Creek. John followed it the next morning. The road curved into a quiet countryside. There, hidden behind a tangle of oak trees, stood a small cabin, weathered but standing tall. The key fit the lock. The door creaked open. Dust filled the air, but everything was exactly how Ethan had left it. Books on a wooden shelf, a worn-out couch, and on the table, a second box. Inside, dozens of letters, all addressed to John. Ethan had never stopped writing. "I forgave you," one letter read. "Whatever happened, you mattered to me." Tears streamed down John's face. The past couldn't be changed, but this was a second chance. A note in the final letter read, "I bought this place for both of us. If life ever brings you here, stay. You'll live again." John looked around, heart pounding. He wasn't alone anymore. Outside, a car engine stopped. Daniel stepped out, holding coffee. "Thought you might want company." John smiled through tears. A broken friendship, reborn through legacy. Is there someone out there you need to forgive? Or someone who still waits for your return? Like this video if you believe it's never too late to make things right. Drop a comment if this story touched your heart. And subscribe for more soul-stirring stories that remind us of what truly matters.